Welcome back to Ball Up Top, where we're here to help if your winter wonderland has turned into an icy hell. It's cold and the vibes are not festive. Well, we're here because we've got conference play, folks. We're going to hop in. We got Greer. We got Tyler. We got SEC coaches on the mic, wilding out.
Or the Twitter. We got
the
both.
Fingers,
we got fingers. We got voices. We got a little bit of everything.
Where to start? So I guess we'll start with the big one. Vic Schaefer issued another statement today about the statement he previously said, where he was talking about how the scheduling for his Texas team in the SEC, it has a stench to it.
I have the quote here. If we want to just go word for word, bar for bar, because I think the wording in this, I think this is not the full quote. Because if you've ever seen a Vic Schaefer press conference, they go. So this is the real hitter here. This is right after the loss to LSU. They obviously have a vendetta against Texas because not only have we started in the league and I get to play South Carolina twice last year, this year I get LSU twice, he said. Of 16 games, there are 16 conference games this year, and I have to play South Carolina on the road this year as well as LSU. I get them back-to-back in the same week. Now make that make sense. Now, real quick, this was the same, Oklahoma enters the SEC last year, had to go on the road to both LSU and South Carolina. I forget exactly how it was spaced out. This is the SEC. This is what we're here for. He
came from the SEC. He hasn't been gone that long to know what a gauntlet it is. And also, you took the Texas job to be in the position that you're in right now because you couldn't get there in Starkville.
Yeah. But see, then the question now is, so who do you want to play? Name names. Or keep it on the playground.
He said that he noted the fact that both teams, LSU and South Carolina, played Georgia beforehand. Mm-hmm. Wicked stray to an actually decent Georgia team this year. Not a bad Georgia team this year in comparison to what we've seen in some years in the past. What you saying FB for? What? Yeah. It's caught a wicked stray. So I guess Georgia is who he wants to play. I guess that's the answer to that question.
Dang. Georgia might was the answer to that business.
Yes. Yeah.
It's you've already beat South Carolina this season. You're playing with house money. So if anything, I'd be beating my chest. Yeah, they tried to bury us. They didn't know we were seeds. And now we growing because we already beat South Carolina. Yeah, we took an L, but we going to bounce right back. Vic, you ain't got to do all this, bro. You're Texas. Y'all already got a huge win in the SEC. Yeah, so you're going in a conference play. That to me sounds like you a little scared. You scared of that. You scared of that garnet and black belt coming on Thursday.
It reminds me of when Gottlieb, when the brackets came out last year, and UConn was in SC's bracket, but SC was the number 1 seed and UConn was the number 2, and Lindsey got up there, shook daddy, and was like, I don't understand why. And it was just I think the word she used was disrespectful and disrespected. That was the way she felt her program was being done as a number 1 seed. So it's just when it's time to play, it's just time to play. And
you got to do it. Put on your big gender neutral undergarments and let's hoop. Yeah. Because you were still high in the rankings. You were number 1, number 2 for a few weeks. It's not the end of the world. So I don't even understand why we have to get in the presser and do these theatrics. For what?
To do it after the first loss too is interesting. You haven't even played South Carolina. You know what? If you go and lose back to back, you go LSU, South Carolina, you lose both these games. I honestly, to a degree, I can understand being damn, this was a rough. You know what? We moved. The thing, but you do it now before the South Carolina game, I think is a weird play in that, right? And then also the idea of a vendetta against Texas. I mean, please be so for real. You know what the schedule is going to be. This isn't a surprise. Aggressiveness isn't the word, but the strength, vendetta.
Yeah, that's
a
really
strong word. That, and I'm looking over here. At one of the local beat reporters in Austin, Danny Davis for the Statesman, who is always on the women's basketball side for Texas. There's a whole long quote, more recent, with Vic responding. I'm not gonna read the whole thing because again,
No, just read that first sentence.
Sorry that happened to you, or
Yeah, because he was like, I'm tired of talking about it, and I was like,
yeah, he said, I think
fault that
enough.
you didn't
The
do
very
something.
beginning. This is. I'll read the first couple sentences here. I think enough has been said about it. I've been doing this 41 years. I've given 20 years of my life to the SEC. Thank you for your service, Vic. I will never apologize for standing up for my program, fighting for my kids. If I don't do it, who is going to do it? My players, their families, their parents, my staff, University of Texas. I'm accountable to them, and I'm committed to them. And that will never waver. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm really getting into this now. What I said was wrong. I feel responsibility to those entities. As Julia Roberts said in Aaron Brockovich, that
Good
was
film,
my
by the
job,
way.
not personal. And it goes on for multiple paragraphs after that. He didn't say anything about like the SEC reaching out to him. It doesn't seem like he got pressed like for the comments or like, anything like that. But I just, again, the timing of it is so interesting to me because, again, I really think if they go and lose to South Carolina and you go and make a comment like this, again, not to the strength of this comment, because I think the strength makes it like way worse, frankly. But if it's just like, damn, we sure didn't get it easy this year in the SEC with the scheduling, I would have no problem with that at all. But a vendetta is just such such a strong way of trying to word this and try and make this point.
And then
it
you
is just like
follow it
after your
up.
team came completely undone. Like
Yeah.
that was like you didn't play your star point guard in the fourth quarter. It's like the confluence of events, right? It's just like that's why I used the word fugazi on Sunday, because it was just like the reaction wasn't just like, okay, we lost, we're gonna learn from it, get back to it on Thursday versus South Carolina. It was like that presser and those comments were like a referendum on everything they've accomplished up until this point, or up until that point on Sunday when they lost versus LSU. Like none of the stuff that they did prior in the season mattered, and I just like your resume says so much more about your season, but you're poo-pooing it in this presser right now.
Yeah.
And my favorite part is him turning into that military man meme, the military man, where he's just like standing there taking all the air arrows while Roy Harmon sleeps peacefully. Like, thank you so much for your service, Vic. And it's like, for him to say this, like he wasn't a long cock coin flip away from being like the top seed. Like, do you want to be respected as a top team in the conference or not? Like,
that's what gets me. Hell, the country. I mean, like this is a team. Like, again, you still have arguably, even after this LSU loss, you still have an argument for like the best resume on paper right now in the nation. Like, and the idea to, like, I just act like it. Like, I guess that's the thing for me. It's like there's a level of I don't know if victim mentality is the right way to frame it with this, but like kinda, and like just you have every chance to win the national championship this year. You've solidified yourself as 100%, and you've already solidified yourself as a true dominant program, both nationally right now in the past couple of years, and also going forward with your recruiting. To me, this does not send the message that we're ready to be in the UConn South Carolina tier. This does not send that to me, and that is worrisome to me just from a neutral perspective here. If I'm looking at Texas and trying to ascend to that level, this is not the energy. You take your lick and you go. Like we keep it pushing. Like I am shocked, frankly, that this was I say strategy. I don't think there was a strategy. I don't think this was thought through at all. I think this was very much in the moment, and it fully to me backfires on because I mean realistically, right? If we're looking at the rankings, there's still an argument like even after that loss, Texas could have been number 2. Because they beat 3 and 4. Like, I don't know if I put them there, but, like, there's an argument for that. After that loss, I think they looked the worst out of the teams. Like, when South Carolina, UCLA lost to Texas, I think Texas looked worse in their loss to LSU. And then now this, it's like you are trying to push yourself down the tiers in my brain right now. And that's kind of subjective at that point. But it's not. I think Andrew used the word unbecoming in 5 And that, like, this is, if you want to be a top tier program, which Texas can be starting this year, this is not the energy you got to come with. And I was not a fan of the comments whatsoever.
Okay, give me 2 seconds because the lighting in this is giving. All right, so switching gears, Coach Yo of Ole Miss,
Yes.
Yolette McPhee? No, I ain't no McPhee. She's a double Mac? Hold on, because we call her Coach Yo so much. Anyway, Coach Yo.
Sure.
Coach Yo hopped on the Bird app, formerly known as the Bird app, and was like, yeah, it's a vendetta against me too. I was like, okay. Like she wasn't feeling the rankings.
I got him. I got the tweets. The Twitter fingers were activated.
What they say? What they say?
So, in a quote tweet to the March Madness account with the top 25, Coach Yo said, "This is a joke, and if the voters not going to do their jobs, we don't need an AP poll. Had we lost 2 games in a row, we'd be fighting to stay in or we'd be out." And then she responded to someone basically just saying, don't worry about the polls. Essentially, just an account I don't recognize. And she said, "I agree, but it's not fair to my kids. Just do right. I can't get behind people that don't do their jobs. The bias is unfair. And this is no shot at anyone but to the voters that didn't do their jobs. This week, we lost to Texas by 3 on the road, beat number 5 Oklahoma on the road, and won a lot versus Mississippi State at home. You move us up 2 spots. I'm tired of the disrespect." She's right. I think she's right.
Okay, so disrespect how?
I just think there should have been more. I'm not saying that they should have like skyrocketed up into the top 10. I'm not going that far or anything. But if you told me that they jumped in front of Michigan State, who Michigan State beat them, but if you look across the AP poll, you see the head-to-head not mattering as much. Case in point, LSU jumping Kentucky. So like you have that, but since then, again, you go and play in Austin, as she noted, and only lost by 3, and like that was a tight game. You go and beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma's first loss at of conference play at that before they lost to Kentucky again, and then you go and you do what you have to do against Mississippi State. To me, when there hasn't been, to me at least, between like Ohio State, Michigan State, and then you go into Oklahoma, Maryland, like above them. To me, I don't know how many teams have better wins than the win against Oklahoma, and also if you're factoring in right now they are 16. So
we've seen teams go like 9 spots up in one week.
Michigan State, it was the one that that was the longer with the Christmas break and everything, so it was that extra week. Michigan State beat Ole Miss and got that jump. So like either Michigan State and Ole Miss should be higher to me, or Ole Miss should have jumped. Just again, I'm not saying top 10.
But no, and so then that's my question, because to me that's a top 10 crash out. That's like we have beaten people in the top 10 and have a better record than people that are in the top 10 ahead of us. So if she's only, where would you put her?
Let's see. I would go right now, looking at where they are, I would have been okay. Like I said, I think I would have been okay with the jump for Michigan State because Michigan State hasn't gone through like
so what number? Give me a number.
Let's see. I would have been okay with them going up to like 13.
Okay, see, and that's my thing, because
13, 12, somewhere in that range. Anywhere 11 to 13.
I would put her up 3 spots as well, but I don't think 3 spots justifies a complete crash out, saying that there's a bias and that there's this, like, that to me is like we're having a historic season. Nobody's taking note. Nobody's giving us our just due. Nobody, like, we're doing some stuff. We're undefeated, and
this is how Texas Tech should be talking, if I'm being honest. This is how Texas Tech should be talking. Who's undefeated right behind them? But yeah. I don't disagree with you though.
Yeah, because like right now, Ole Miss is kind of doing the same thing they do every year. Like they're still a threat.
They finally got over the hump on one though with one of the top ranked games. You could say what you want about what Oklahoma is now and everything, and what they might actually end up being, but at the moment they were number 5, which we haven't seen Ole Miss.
Well, no, but what I'm saying, what I mean is, we'll see in March. I feel like they do kind of do some like shock the world stuff, and then they kind of pewter out. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. Like I haven't seen like this dominant. We are because I don't hear anybody saying like they think Ole Miss could win the SEC. We've been talking about South Carolina, Texas, LSU. I've heard, we've talked about Oklahoma being more of a threat, not like a huge threat. Once upon a time, Tennessee was a threat. But it's like we still aren't talking about Ole Miss in those conversations. So it's like if they were having a historic season and we're not having those conversations, then I understand that type of crash out. But for 3 spots, I'm kind of like, but if she believes that they should be top 10, then I'm behind her.
Which I will say, so one thing I noticed in the press conference is when I had Boots for the Oklahoma win, she told her team, she's like, look, if we played Texas that close, which given at the time they're number 2, so we played Texas that close and they're number 2, she said, hell, that must make us number 3, is what she's telling her team. So I think that's what her frame of mind is like, okay, we almost beat number 2, we just beat number 5, like what, why are we this far back? I think is, which I mean, again, like to a degree, I kind of get it, like especially from the bias perspective of her, like of her own team. I kind of get it.
Yeah, if she believes they should be in the top 10, and people aren't giving them their props, then okay. But to frame it like people aren't watching when it's kind of like, I don't know if that's it. Like people aren't doing their job by having them outside of the top 10. I think they just aren't particularly moved by you. So that could be something like, what's y'all's criteria? Like I've seen what makes you cheer. I don't care what makes you boo, but like, so I get what she's doing. I'm just kind of like, I'm not really, like I said, I don't think it's a vendetta against her either.
See, I think for me, I think a crash out, if you will, of like this magnitude, which again, like, I mean, calling for the AP poll to be abolished, like, isn't, the smallest thing. To me, this is an NCAA reveal type of like a message where it's like, if they get in there and they are right on the edge or not in the top 16, to me, that's when it's like, all right, what else do you want? Like that, to me, that's kind of more where this messaging would be, where, because ultimately, as much as we put, I mean, hell, I make a video every week about the AP poll. Like, I like the AP poll. I like the discussion it brings. Ultimately, it doesn't fully matter. Like, it does matter because narratives matter and things of that nature. So it does matter, and I don't want to say it doesn't, but it does kind of like give the potentially the idea of like a distraction, right? Of like this becoming a distraction, where when ultimately, if you keep winning games in the SEC, you're gonna move up.
And that's kind of where I'm at too. Like, it's a little early, like for Vic to be saying after one loss, like, they hate us. Yeah. After her to be doing this, like a few games into conference play, and like you're hanging your hat on a loss still.
I think that people are feeling that pressure though. I just do. Like, like these are high profile programs and jobs and the recruiting, all of it. Like, I just think it's making people act
me.
For real. Me. It's making people act like we haven't seen them be in previous years. You know what I mean? And to Tyler's point about like narrative crafting, right? Like, we know how powerful that is in the women's game, and Yo has kind of stood pat for the last couple of years and let the committee and whoever else like do their business and get whatever end of the stick that, you know what I mean? Like, so I do kind of appreciate her getting in the driver's seat, but yeah, to your point, like saying like, let's abolish the AP.
That might be a bit of a jump. A bit of a jump.
Very strong. But
she's the means of production.
About them, right?
She's the means of production.
Yeah.
We are talking about them, right? And we are examining their resume with a fine-tooth comb. They're going to have, 5, 6, 7 more opportunities to get some quality wins. So,
and that's just like you just turn the pressure up on yourself.
Hell yeah!
It's like, if the pack wasn't lit already, you saying like, y'all ain't doing your jobs, you're not watching this. Okay, let's watch. What you about to do against South Carolina? Do they pay Vandy? Like, what's up?
Yeah, they do on January 29th.
Well, what you got for us? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I hope that doesn't backfire. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Look, they get out of January undefeated. We'll be talking about them in the top 10.
Absolutely,
like 100%. Like, it's that simple. So I mean, I think going forward, that now I won't say target on her back, but like now you gotta win. Now you
It's
really
a
gotta
pack
win.
rolled up. It's a pack rolled up.
Now you really gotta win, 100%.
Yeah, or that what Lil Wayne say? Our last coach, SEC, where the C stands for crash out. Kim Mulkey.
Dude,
She has some unflattering points of her resume brought to light on Twitter. Who was it? Reed Darcy.
Yeah.
I think that's his last name. Shout out to him. That's a name you see all the time.
he be moving. And you did nothing wrong bringing this up.
Yeah.
However,
and then
comma.
she got into that presser and said, I saw that tweet.
and the tweet was given, it was about the top 11 or whatever the cutoff was teams, if they're nationally ranked since coming to LSU. She hadn't beat them in the regular season. She got her first one, obviously, against Texas. Immediately spun the block in the post. And you know what? More power to you know what, man. You know
but
what?
Like, hey, she was sweating her hair out like we was in our business clothes coming out the club in 2009, 10.
Give or take,
She had the suit jacket on, was sweating her hair out. She needed that one, bro. Like, she needed that one. She immediately, and I know she needed that one because she gets.
It's either she was sweating her hair out or they hit her with the water bottles, which
shows they needed it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The desperation is wicked.
Palpable. Yeah. They needed this. Yeah. And she gets in there and she's like, now, what was said? Like,
print that.
Tweet that.
That's a bar. Look, Kim has fault, many of them. But God damn it, she's a hell of an entertainer. You know what? She knows how to get the crowd moving.
She's provocative.
She's provocative.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The 100%. Game needs her. I'm sorry. Hate it or love it, or both. So necessary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Greer, what'd she say? Check
the numbers. Yeah, that's what I beat Texas. Yeah. When I started 0-3, what happened before in college? Damn. The receipts were, she had them.
Hey, keep the printer going in February, because we coming. We coming.
Oh God.
We coming. So ESPN dropped their All-American list. Moving on to something that I'm sure won't be debated ad nauseum.
Yeah.
Their mid-season All-American list. Tyler, boy, hit me.
Yeah, got you. First team: Lauren Betts, Michaela Blakes, Madison Booker, Olivia Miles, and Sarah Strong. Second team is Audi Crooks, Joyce Edwards, AZ Fudd, Roy Harmon, and Hannah Hidalgo. AZ Fudd on second team is immediately the thing that jumps out to me.
The record's not mattering for any team is like 4 letters. What are you doing? That's so funny that like Michaela Blakes can be like, she's hooping. So I think it is interesting that they're like, all right, we just gonna put pure ballers where they need to be. Okay, because what was Lauren Betts?
The first team is Betts, then it goes Blake's, then Booker, then Olivia Miles, then Sarah Strong.
They blinded by them triple doubles. That's what that is.
Hold on, wait, watch your mouth.
Hey, and I realize why I'm saying that too. I realize why I'm saying that too. But
whoa.
Up until recently, they were all the other players were on like one loss or no loss teams.
Mm-hmm.
Miles has actually had like bad games, like games where the turnovers were more than or like equal to assists, right? I don't want to pull her card too much. She's still a college kid, but like the antics on the court too, right? Like, and I will give her a ton of credit. She went to TCU. This is a new team, new environment, new conference, all of the things. And the team that she left is kind of floundering. But yeah, AZ on the volume again, 50, 40, 100 right now. I think it is roughly. So on the undefeated team, and we've seen UConn in particular, and I'm sure there are other teams, probably South Carolina in this dawn heyday of like, yeah, you can have 2 players on the same team who are absolutely having first team All-American caliber seasons. Yeah. And that is just what's happening in stores right now.
But that goes back to my point a couple episodes ago where I said like AZ's not really. I forgot UConn was playing, to be honest. Like ain't nobody really like for them to be the number one team, to be the defending national champions. Like it feels like they need a white girl on there for the media to care because they not getting the push, and I'm kind of like AZ's not getting the narrative. Like we've talked about everybody has been talking about Audie Crooks, good, bad, or otherwise, in a manner that I've never seen in her career. To the point where I'm just like, okay, stop perceiving her. Everybody, relax a little. But like, I'm seeing Audie get more love and more shine and more scrutiny than AZ. And I think that's kind of interesting for her to be the star player of the defending national champion. So Gino, man, I don't know. Maybe Gino need to go crash out one good time on somebody. Turn up one time, unless he's not an ally.
No, these are going to be slow, methodical cuts until we get to like March. April.
Hey, he better do it fast, or I'm gonna just say he uses black women's labor with nothing in return. Because this is wicked.
I know. The ESPN, whatever, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. Wooden Award, WBCA, I think that they'll get it right. Oftentimes they have when it came to like a UConn case like this. Again, and then like if they manage to go undefeated throughout the regular season, I just think
it's gonna be hard to
impossible to ignore.
Yeah, especially we
now need to be talking about those black women. Greer, don't let him off the hook. Hold on.
Oh, he talks about them. He glazes them all the time. Actually,
he needs to start.
And Blanca, to be clear, like they're all
to be clear.
Not the whole spectrum. Greer, please.
Yes.
What an ally. What an ally.
I need some horse heads in beds, man. He got to get back to the old him. Lord, forgive him. Get back to the old him. Like, I'm not seeing it. He needs to make an example of somebody. If Moki can get in there and say, "Hey, what y'all on?" Then I need to see Luigi do it.
He don't even have in the UConn press corps. There's no one who will even do what Reed did. Like no shade, but
Rebecca,
like, what are you're on national TV.
Rebecca
Lobo is Glazer in chief. Yeah,
right?
Lobo's Glazer in chief with AZ.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, where's your influence? Why isn't anyone following your lead? You need to be a better foot soldier.
Yeah, I mean, right now AZ's at what? She's at 49% shooting from the field, 48 from three, and 100% from the free throw line, while also averaging 2 steals for the first time in her career and a career high in assists. Like
after
and probably rebounds too. It's probably career highs in all of those things.
Bro,
close. She's at 2.5 right now. Her career high is 2.7 her freshman year. So close.
Lateral quickness after multiple knee injuries. Like, this ain't a narrative.
Yeah, most points in her career, like easily. Her high before this was 15. Now it's 17. Still on her lowest minutes, notably for her career as well. I mean, it come on. I think there's, especially if by the end of the season UConn is the last like undefeated team standing, which I think is a very real possibility. I feel like you have to acknowledge what AZ's been able to do, because I mean that is, especially if she gets up to officially 50, 40, 90. Like,
I mean, if you don't want to, that's fine. Because like, let me stop before they hear us, and now all of a sudden.
I mean, she'll have a couple more opportunities. They have a game against Notre Dame on Monday the 19th, and then they have a game against Tennessee. I don't know, sometime in February. I'm not even exactly sure what it is. So more opportunities, but again, also another opportunity for a player like Anna Hidalgo to say second team. Excuse me.
So, and here's my thing: if Notre Dame wins that again, then I think it's going to become like Hannah Hidalgo is her, like she owns UConn, and that's going to negatively affect AZ when she's been out playing Paige for like years. And we didn't, and I'm like being very serious now. Like I don't. It's something sinister. There's a stench to this, as Vic Schaefer would say.
There's not a vendetta. There's not a vendetta against AZ.
That's the word of the show today, vendetta.
Yeah.
There's a stench to it.
Yeah.
So like I'm still pulling for Hannah, obviously, but it's like it could get real wicked dialogue wise if Hannah wins that head to head matchup, because then I think we're gonna start pulling out the receipts, which I'm fine with. I will help to provide context and highlight some box scores if need be. I don't know where I'm gonna post them because I don't have my account, but I will post these box scores wherever I can. You said Notre Dame and who else?
Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee. Kim Caldwell, what you got for me? Because that
last year,
yeah,
that woke up a different. Kim Caldwell woke up the damn machine.
Facts, that's a fact.
Well, okay, Janiah Barker, what you got for me? Howden twins, what you got for me?
Hey,
please.
She's been hooping.
Yeah, SEC freshman of the week.
Yeah, she's been hooping.
Hey man, that's what I'm saying. What y'all got for me? I need y'all. We gotta lock in, family. Yes, this is a group effort. Yeah.
Right.
Hey, wait, hold on. I have no dog in this at all. I'm just a neutral bystander.
Whenever it's time to hate, we gotta recruit all armed men. Look, mercenaries.
Men used to go to war. This is now the war. It's just agenda warfare in women's
we all your
basketball.
hoopers. It's an arms race. Let's go. Any closing thoughts on the teams, players? Who got it right?
I think Maggie Dugan, I know we just interviewed her, but I also think she's certainly got to be in the conversation, what she's doing at Richmond, who's going to be
coming out tomorrow for the public. This drops.
You know, if their season continues to go the way it has, she will have been a major contributor to a team and a program that's making 3 straight NCAA tournament bids. You know, coming off the 48-point triple overtime thriller, but also just doing it all for their team, doubles out the what. So yeah, I think she's absolutely throwing her name in the ring, and yeah, we should be rewarding, especially if I'm just being honest, mid-major players who stay.
Yeah,
in this day and age of college athletics.
You sound like Mookie.
I mean, frankly, if Rory Harmon keeps getting sat out for a ridiculous amount of time, there might be a spot on second team. So I would not be. That is certainly a name that needs to be thrown on there. I mean, but yeah, as you're listening to this, if you're listening on the day it comes out tomorrow for the public, or if you're a ball knower, you're already a member on here on YouTube or on the website. You already get it. You already got the interview. You've been watched. I'm sure you've been watched it. But yeah, Dugan is certainly a candidate that should be in the mix.
Speaking of ball knower, shout out to Andrew. If you want to know about a mid-major team that you previously didn't know exist, but it's absolutely hooping, you got to like and subscribe. We got what you need, man. We got the ball knowers, bros. Like, it's real over here. Speaking of why you should subscribe, we're gonna have boots on the ground on Thursday. In CLA, Texas, South Carolina, another showdown, and we're not flipping the long cock coin. Predictions. What y'all thinking?
Man, I'm worried about Texas. Frankly,
yes,
I'm genuinely worried that this could be a nasty one for Texas, because not only do you have like the revenge game aspect of this for South Carolina, which I feel like they have always done pretty well in whenever if there's ever an opportunity for it, which is obviously this one's a little bit weird. Having happened in the non-con and getting to conference is weird, but like generally speaking, if they lost to a team in conference play and they saw them in the conference tournament, they weren't losing that game. You know what I mean? Like, or saw them in March Madness, they're not losing that game, generally speaking. So you already have that. Well, okay, I know.
Hey,
you know,
bringing up old stuff.
That's why I said generally speaking. But it's not only do you have that, but you have Texas having to bounce back from this loss. But again, this is a loss where, I mean, we made the point, but like you didn't act like you belonged with South Carolina. And now you have to go on the court at CLA, which is already, remember last year there was some shaky moments in that game where it felt like the energy didn't fully match in some of those games. We just saw a full 40 of that in Baton Rouge. And now you have to go and avoid doing that again at CLA. I'm nervous, frankly, about where this could lead for Texas. And again, as a South Carolina team that I feel like has semi-quietly, if you will, like I feel like has really steadily gotten locked in. And obviously having Tanaya Latson back now helps. Joyce Edwards continues, I mean, on second team for good reason here on this list from ESPN. Like, it's been rolling. It hasn't been the loudest that we've heard from South Carolina in terms of like how we've gotten here. But like after the Texas loss, it's been pretty collectively and like confidently building. And that's not the case for Texas right now. To me, the foundation of Texas has been shaken. And I don't know if they're going to have enough time to repair it before you're having to go and face a South Carolina team at home that has revenge on the mind. I'm worried. I'm nervous for Texas.
Especially since your coach already said he's scared. Like
everybody in South Carolina saw that. You know what I mean?
In front of the host. You did that. You did that. You took your jacket off and got undignified in the worst way. Because we talked about this at the beginning of the season where we're talking about, South Carolina isn't the inevitable force that they've been in previous years where you have that one player where you're like, they're going to kill us. Like, we are about to die. Yeah. So you don't have that intimidation factor coming in where you're taking yourself out of the game. And I feel like those comments and then having to backtrack and having to, I'm tired of talking about it and dealing with the consequences of my own quotes. Like, I feel like you've already
reinstilled it a little bit, the fear factor.
Yeah, you've already taken yourself out of it a little bit before the opening tip. And you can't do that. On the road, you've already said, like, this is too hard. Why do they hate us? Like, bro, strap up and hoop. Like, what are you doing? So I feel like the first 5 minutes going to tell us everything we need to know, in my opinion, because I feel like this isn't a game where you can get behind and come back. Because, like, we had the Madison Booker, Raven Johnson battle. We could have been hyping that up. You can't guard me, blah, 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 blah. You have them. You already are 1-0 against them, and you came in shaken. Like, why? Why would you do that?
Yeah, I think South Carolina, to your point, Tyler, since losing to Texas back in Las Vegas, has put together a hell of a season so far. I think like they have more depth maybe on offense than they've ever had, or it's like just spread out, right? The distribution, right? Raven is doing her thing. Tessa is doing her thing. Latson's been out, but like she's just rejoining. She's rejoining a team that I think has figured some things out, right? Joyce Edwards is doing her thing. And quietly, I still think Medina Okote is one of the biggest stories of the season. Has been hooping, has played herself into what I think she should be in lottery considerations for the WNBA draft should she choose to enter. She's 6'7" and just does her job really, really well right now. Hasn't been playing basketball all that long. I think it's one of the best stories of the season, how well she's like slotted in for South Carolina. Then to add insult to injury, right? They're adding a 6'7" post player Thursday, and Alicia Tornabize, who's coming, came over from France mid-season and is going to be making her CLA debut on Thursday. And she's 6'7", and also I'm sure has played against a lot of these players, or like in like U19, you would just youth development systems. So yeah, new to the American college game, but not new to the game, right? Also, like her mom played college basketball here in the States, so I'm sure she's been watching too. You know what I mean? This is not just somebody being thrown into the deep end with no floating device, So yeah, I think if you're South Carolina, you got a lot of things going right with your team and your program right now.
And you only lost on one shot. It was a one possession game. So it's not like Vic had a large margin, to work with here. It's one play. And if we play better defense on that one play, it's a different ball game. So to your point, we have a lot more reasons to feel better about this revenge game. And yeah, Texas should be worried. Yeah. And you guys should be subscribed and locked in, because we're going to be bringing you the post-game, the pre-game, the post-game. We're going to go get the vibes. We're going to do a temperature check. I'm going to see some fits on the sideline. Like,
if Vic Schaefer says anything else, if Don Staley says something, it'll be on here. And we'll be live after, as always, with the post-game. So, like, we're the place to be. Just to put it plain, we're the place to be for South Carolina, Texas. It's that simple. It's that simple.
I'm going to send a prayer up for Old Acre because,
look, I'm telling you, Shawnee, to your point, the first 5 minutes, I'm telling, like, I'm actually not joking when I say this. I'm on Vic jacket watch.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm being I'm being like as for real as I could possibly be, because that jacket didn't come off till 5 minutes left, roughly in the fourth quarter against LSU.
You can't have that.
I'm so like the energy. Like, we know Vic, we know the energy. I've covered him since, my first year covering was Big 12 basketball, Roy Harmon's freshman year. I have been seeing Vic in person so many times, and there was a level, like there was a timidness against LSU that I feel like infected the whole team. And I don't know if it started with Vic. I don't know if the team did it, and then Vic. I don't know. But that jacket needs to be off, and I need to feel the fire from Vic from the jump. Or I think it's
burnt orange by the first media timeout.
I'm excited though. I hope it's a good game. I think it will be, but I'm interested. I mean, we're about to find out a whole lot about both these teams. There's going to be, I think we're going to get a lot of answers. I think we're going to leave with a whole lot more questions as well, which is fantastic for a game in January. Fantastic.
Like I said, we're helping you get through this icy hell because it's cold. All right, family. Well, we thank you for joining us. Again, subscribe. We've got so much in the chamber coming, and go Canes.
Man, it's okay.